Ancient sages' understanding of the human body and the yin-yang theory. Ancient sages studied the human form, distinguished the yin and yang of the internal organs, and carefully examined the connections of the meridians, ensuring the smooth circulation of qi throughout the body. They understood how each meridian had its own pathways, origins and destinations. The specific points where qi is emitted have distinct names. The junctions of muscles and bones have their own starting points. The yin and yang balance of the superficial meridians and their directional flow follow a set pattern. The changes in yin and yang across the 4 seasons adhere to fixed principles, and the interactions between external environmental factors and internal human physiology correspond to one another, with external manifestations reflecting internal conditions. Is this truly the case? The relationship between the 5 directions, 5 elements and human physiology. The east and the element of wood. The east generates wind, which nourishes the energy of wood. Wood in turn produces the sour taste, which nurtures the liver. The liver's blood nourishes the tendons, and the tendons, in turn, sustain the heart. The liver qi connects with the eyes. In the macrocosm, wind corresponds to one of the 5 qi in the heavens, to wood among the 5 elements, to tendons in the human body, to the liver among the 5 organs, to the color green among the 5 colors, to the musical note jaw in the 5 tones, to the sound of calling in the 5 sounds, to the act of grasping in bodily movements, to the eyes in the 7 orifices, to soreness among the 5 flavors, and to anger in emotional changes. Excessive anger harms the liver, but sadness can counteract anger. Wind damages the tendons, but dryness can suppress wind. Overconsumption of sour flavors harms the tendons, but pungent flavors can counteract soreness. The south and the element of fire. The south generates heat, which fosters fire. Fire in turn produces the bitter taste, which nourishes the heart. The heart generates blood, and blood nourishes the spleen. The heart qi is associated with the tongue. In the macrocosm, heat corresponds to one of the 5 qi in the heavens, to fire among the 5 elements, to blood vessels in the human body, to the heart among the 5 organs, to the color red among the 5 colors, to the musical note Z in the 5 tones, to the sound of laughter in the 5 sounds, to sorrow in emotional changes, to the tongue in the 7 orifices, to bitterness among the 5 flavors, and to joy in emotional states. Excessive joy harms the heart qi, but fear can counteract excessive joy. Heat damages qi, but cold can suppress heat. Bitter flavors harm qi, but salty flavors can counteract bitterness. The center and the element of earth. The center generates dampness, which fosters the growth of earth. Earth in turn produces the sweet taste, which nourishes the spleen. The spleen nourishes the muscles, and the strong muscles reinforce lung qi. The spleen qi is associated with the mouth. In the macrocosm, dampness corresponds to one of the 5 qi in the heavens, to earth among the 5 elements, to muscles in the human body, to the spleen among the 5 organs, to the color yellow among the 5 colors, to the musical note gong in the 5 tones, to the sound of singing in the 5 sounds, to retching in bodily movements, to the mouth in the 7 orifices, to sweetness among the 5 flavors, and to salt in emotional changes. Excessive contemplation harms the spleen, but anger can counteract overthinking. Dampness damages the muscles, but wind can counteract dampness. Overconsumption of sweet flavors harms the muscles, but sour flavors can counteract sweetness. The west and the element of metal. The west generates dryness, which strengthens metal. Metal in turn produces the pungent taste, which nourishes the lungs. Lung qi nourishes the skin and hair, and healthy skin and hair in turn generate kidney water. The lung qi is associated with the nose. In the macrocosm, dryness corresponds to one of the 5 qi in the heavens, to metal among the 5 elements, to skin and hair in the human body, to the lungs among the 5 organs, to the color white among the 5 colors, to the musical note shan in the 5 tones, to the sound of crying in the 5 sounds, to coughing in bodily movements, to the nose in the 7 orifices, to pungency among the 5 flavors, and to grief in emotional states. Excessive grief harms the lungs, but joy can counteract grief. Heat damages the skin and hair, but cold can suppress heat. Pungent flavors harm the skin and hair, but bitterness can counteract pungency. The nose and the element of water. The nose generates cold, which nourishes water. Water in turn produces the salty taste, which nurtures the kidneys. Kidney qi sustains the bone marrow, which in turn nourishes the liver. The kidney qi is associated with the ears. In the macrocosm, cold corresponds to one of the 5 qi in the heavens, to water among the 5 elements, to bone marrow in the human body, to the kidneys among the 5 organs, to the color black among the 5 colors, to the musical note U in the 5 tones, to the sound of groaning in the 5 sounds, to shivering in bodily movements, to the ears in the 7 orifices, to saltiness among the 5 flavors, and to fear in emotional states. Excessive fear harms the kidneys, but thought can counteract fear. Cold damages the blood, but dryness can counteract cold. Salty flavors harm the blood, but sweetness can counteract saltiness. The interactions of yin and yang in the universe and the human body. Thus heaven and earth establish the hierarchy of all things. While yin and yang differentiate blood and qi in males and females, the left and right sides of the body serve as pathways for the circulation of yin and yang. While water and fire are expressions of yin and yang, the dynamic transformations of yin and yang are the fundamental origins of all creation. Therefore, yin is internal with yang acting as its external protector. Yang is external, with yin functioning as its supportive assistant.